YouTube, what's going on? Wanye Visuals back with another video. One thing I noticed lately is the way I overuse gimbals in every single one of my music videos. I mean, looking back on 2020, I'd have to say I used a gimbal in 95% of my shots, and that is not always the best thing to do. I'm gonna explain exactly what I mean right after this intro. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. Hit the like button, it'll help hit the YouTube algorithm. Let's connect, let's grow, let's do all that stuff. 2021 is going to be the year for all of us. I look forward to meeting all of you. Leave some comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But what this video right here is about, as you can read by the title, is the reason why I never want to use a gimbal again. I'm not saying that I'm not going to be using a gimbal again, because trust me, gimbals do come in very, very handy. When they become overused is when it becomes a problem. I do it, you do it, everybody does it. The smooth shots are what brings your videos to life, and let's face it, that's really facts. That's the truth. Those smooth, crisp shots are really what brings your videos to life, and let's face it, all of us love that. When it comes to the music and the type of style that you're going for, you never want to substitute a handheld shot for a gimbal shot if that song doesn't call for it, you know what I mean? So in this video, I really want to go over when and when you shouldn't use a gimbal. Over the past 4 years, I've shot a decent amount of music videos, and one thing I've noticed when going back and rewatching them is I rarely, if ever, use handheld shots. I do own a shoulder rig and a tripod, and I don't even use them. I, again, only use gimbals. That is where the problem comes in, and in 2021, I plan on switching that all up. See, when I first started shooting music videos, I didn't own a gimbal, but it was the one item that I always wanted. And I got online and I did my research. My thought on this was, if I could just get that one gimbal, it would step up my video production and I'd be getting more clients, more money. It'd be a win-win for all of us. So I went and got the Zion Crane V2. Now this crane allows you to hook up small mirrorless cameras to it, such as the A6300 that I was using at the time. As a matter of fact, I still own it. I rarely use it because I'm now using the Sony a7 III, but I do use it from time to time to get B-roll. The Zion Crane V2, I sold that gimbal this past summer of 2020, and I upgraded to the DJI Ronin S. One thing I noticed about the Crane V2 is it was very convenient and very easy to calibrate once you got the hang of it. Again, at that time, I was only using the A6300, so it was very easy and convenient to hook up. As I mentioned, it literally felt like a feather compared to the other cameras that I balanced on it, the a7 III, and even the GH4 that I own. I used the Crane V2 from 2017 all the way up until I purchased the Ronin M in summer of 2019. I actually drove all the way up to New Hampshire from Connecticut just to purchase it from somebody that was selling it on Marketplace for a decent price. But when I bought the Ronin M, I didn't really completely fall in love with it, as I really didn't know how to balance it. So pretty much what I did was I held on to the Crane V2, kept using that until I got more familiar with the Ronin M. So as time progressed, I started to dip more into the Ronin M. I love the way it looks, but as everything that is good also has flaws, and right now I want to talk about the flaws that come along with using the Ronin M. I noticed very quickly that when you're on long shoots, it becomes very heavy. When you're using it for hours at a time, it does come with a stand, which is really good, which is probably why it becomes a pain to have to drag it from this location to the next. You shoot at one spot and then you drive further. You just go somewhere to a different spot. You gotta unhook it. It's just one big pain. So if you've used the Ronin M, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's really the only problem with this gimbal, because the Ronin M is definitely my favorite gimbal. It does its job, and it does its job very well. Another reason why I want to steer away from using gimbals so much, I don't want to say completely, but definitely steer away from using them as much, is because when you're shooting music videos, the gimbals are really only supposed to be used for B-roll. You know, the shots that are slow, you want those slow, smooth shots, use a gimbal. With performance shots, when you got a lot going on and a lot of motion, you might want to use handheld. Definitely makes your video stand out when you get some handheld shots, and then you mix it with some slow, smooth B-roll. There's a time and place for everything, and there's time for gimbals, and there's time for handheld shots, time for shoulder rigs, and there's time for tripods. It's all a time and place for everything. And once you keep doing it over and over again, you're gonna realize exactly what I mean. You're gonna catch on faster, and it's gonna be like second nature. Always feel free to jot things down, write down shot lists, write down what you want to use, the gear you want to use. That way, when you're out on set, it becomes that much more easier than just bringing the gimbal out with you and running and gunning, because that is not always the best thing to do as well. I'll have a video on that soon. 9 times out of 10, your handheld shot or shoulder rig shot is gonna fit the scenario a lot better than just placing the camera on the gimbal and just shooting the whole video with a gimbal. Again, it's all subjective. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But you know, get creative. There's nothing wrong with being creative. There's nothing wrong with trying things out. Listen to the song, feel it, figure it out. Feel it, figure it out before you even get out on set is my best advice to you when it comes to figuring out what kind of gear you want to use. Not only with gimbals, but with other gear, you know, with what camera you want to use. If you have multiple cameras, looking back on some of my older projects and even projects that I shoot to this day, one of the main things that I noticed is that I am continuously shooting with gimbals. And I'll say it again, in 2021, that's where this all changes. My last couple videos that I shot, one was for King Cess. I shot the whole thing in handheld. It was so cold out, I wasn't even bringing a gimbal out with me. Don't be afraid to switch it up. Adding different camera movements and different angles is exactly what's gonna bring your videos to life. Be creative. I'm gonna keep saying that over and over again. Be creative. There's nothing wrong with being creative. As you know, as we all know, everybody loves being creative. I just cannot say that enough. Be creative, switch it up, and I promise you, in 2021, your videos are gonna stand out and make a huge difference. That's it, guys. I think this is where I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna take the opportunity right now. If you like this video, please show your boys some love. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this video. You know, all that stuff. I'm back, guys. I'm back. I'm taking a long break from social media just to focus on YouTube, because lately I've been slacking on YouTube, as we all know. I deleted all my other accounts, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All that's gone. Only YouTube for 2021. I do it all for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one.